Hello everyone, I'm Johnny, and today we're taking a look at Batman, Gotham by Gaslight. This is a Batman story set in the 19th century, which is actually a better timeline for Batman to be even more Batman-esque, and I'll explain why. So if you like Batman or 19th century history, or that steampunk vibe, you're going to want to check this one out. Batman Gotham by Gaslight is loosely based off the standalone graphic novel by the same name. The setting is a Victorian-era Gotham City, late 19th century sometime. The universe is different in many ways to our regular Batman universe. Some of the characters take on entirely different roles, and Batman's main nemesis will be Jack the Ripper. Jack the Ripper was a famous but never identified serial killer in London in the late 1880s. Famous for mutilating women working as prostitutes. Jack the Ripper in this universe has a similar MO, but is a highly proficient fighter for Batman and Selina Kyle to square off against. One of the more interesting twists is that it will be discovered that this Jack the Ripper was a former Civil War surgeon and veteran, which goes a long way to explaining his fascination with anatomy and his broken mind. Hugo Strange appears in the movie but isn't directly a villain. He runs this psychiatric asylum in Gotham. This psychiatric institution underscores how perfect this era is for Batman storytelling. In this era, doctors like Hugo Strange would have had more leeway in conducting experimental, psychological, and surgical treatments on patients, sometimes called psychosurgery. Though lobotomies wouldn't be practiced in any standard way until around the 1940s, such procedures were experimented with and journaled by individual doctors starting in the 1880s. You can see how this would tie in with creating all sorts of villains in Gotham. But the climate and era doesn't just suit the creation of villains, but also allows for Batman's detective skills to be all the more impressive. For example, fingerprinting work used in criminal investigations wouldn't become standard until the early 20th century. So why not have Batman be a pioneer in many of these fields, giving him an edge over villains and the police? Fingerprinting is brought up in the movie, though sadly not directly used to solve a case. Batman is also shown using graphology, the analysis of handwriting to determine a writer's personality traits. It's a bit of a pseudoscience, but perhaps not with Batman's level of perception. The movie further shows Batman trying to analyze fibers under a microscope. The setting is such a brilliant place to showcase the development of modern detective methodology and science. I'm glad the movie touched on it, and it could have gone much further. Likewise, Batman's martial arts would have given him a huge advantage over many in this time period. The late 19th century did start to see some martial arts make their way to the West from Asia, but they are mostly seen as a novelty. Batman totally could have had the advantage on many criminals, with just a little judo on board. And the fight scenes do highlight this, but sadly the movie doesn't have much time to go into Bruce Wayne's training or development as a fighter. Fight scenes overall are great, with Jack the Ripper fighting how you'd expect a 19th century boxer to fight. Likewise, this Batman fights using a significant amount of boxing, with a bit of martial arts mixed in. The sound design for the fight scenes really stands out. It's excellent, with some of the blows sounding and looking far heavier than other Batman fight scenes. I feel like they tried to nail the basics for the fights in this one. I even like that Jack the Ripper rushes Catwoman on one occasion when she breaks her whip out. That's exactly what you'd want to do. Sadly, Batman does not have a lot of gadgets in this one. There are very few steampunk toys on his belt besides his trusted grapple gun. The most steampunky invention in the movie will be Batman's motorcycle and an airship. You'll get a good fight scene on the airship, but sadly the bike is only featured for a brief part of the movie. A shame, it was animated well. I wanted to see what else it could do. Overall, the animation is good, voice acting is good, and expect writing that is on par with Batman the Animated Series from the 90s, which is to say it's very good, but at times it might feel like a drawn-out episode. I'm Johnny. Thanks for watching. Do check out Batman Gotham by Gaslight. Anyway, if you want to support the channel, do hit the bat like button and do consider bat scribing. But most importantly, do take care and have a nice rest of your day.